Hello everyone! Are you willing to visit India, my motherland, but a bit confused? Don't worry, you are in the right place. In this short video, I will give you some information on touristic places and cultures of India, but also a pre-planned 10-day trip and few practical tips that you can follow once in India. If you find it useful, do not forget to like it. Have pleasure by going through this adventurous virtual incredible India. The Republic of India, the world's largest democracy, a federation made up of 28 states and 7 union territories. India borders 6 countries, has 16 official languages, operates the 4th largest railway system, the 3rd largest road system, controls 50% of the world's outsourcing industry, and is the home of the Kumbh Mela, the world's largest human gathering, and runs under a single time zone, Indian Standard Time. Although only a third the size of the United States, India has almost 4 times as many people and is currently the world's second most populous country with 1.2 billion people and soon to be its first, overtaking China by 2025. Today, India is the world's 4th largest economy and growing. It will overtake Japan around 2015, America by 2040, and is on track to surpass China by 2050 to become the world's largest economy. Its population demographics are similar to China's 3 to 4 decades ago. India's massive growth potential lies firmly with its people. With the world's youngest population, India's median age is just 25 compared to 36 in the US and 43 in Japan. India's population of children under 4 is twice as big as the entire population of France. And by 2025, more than 55% of Indians will be of working age, accounting for a quarter of the planet's total workforce. With global economic growth being generated largely in part by the transition of people out of poverty, India's economic impact will be staggering. Currently home to 1/3 of the world's poor, around 40% of Indians live below the international poverty line, but with an economic predicted to grow at 8% over the next decade, we will see average per capita income increase from $1,500 today to close to $10,000 by 2025. India's middle class is set to explode from under 50 million people today to around 100 million by 2025, largely due to massive urbanization. Delhi will grow by 50%, around 20 million inhabitants today, to over 30 million by 2025. Mumbai will move from the world's 7th largest city to its 4th, and Kolkata will have an additional 5 million inhabitants. India today is poised to dominate the global economy over the coming decades by leveraging its young, vast, aspirational English-speaking workforce. But to capitalize on this potential, India must educate, invest, and open up like China has done so successfully. The Taj Mahal, located in the city of Agra, Uttar Pradesh, is a white tomb built in the 17th century by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan for Mumtaz, believed to be his soul. Widely thought as one of the most beautiful buildings in the world, it is one of India's biggest tourist attraction and is part of the new 7 wonders of the world. The temples of Khajuraho are famous for their erotic sculptures and are one of the most popular tourist attractions in India. Scholars still debate the purpose of such explicit portrayals of sexual intercourse, which sometimes involve animals. The Big Temple of Tanjore is a stunning monument that speaks about the architecture of the Chola era. This 212 feet towering Shiva temple is home to one of the largest Shiva lingas of the country. A majestic Nandi, which is a bull, stands guard over the temple. This is the 2nd largest Nandi in India and is carved out of a single stone. The big temple was constructed by Rajaraja Chola I, the greatest king of the Chola dynasty between 985 before Christ and 1014. The big temple was an expression of the success of Rajaraja Chola's empire. This temple is also called as Brihadishwara Temple or Perivadayar Kovil or even Rajarajeshwaram. The temple is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site known as the Great Living Chola Temples. Atirapalli is the land of rivers, forests and great waterfalls in Kerala. It is a major tourist attraction by being a treat for the eyes during the monsoon. This patch in Soria ranges so beautifully, intertwined with lush green forest cover and sizzling silver cascades. Atirapalli is an ideal place where the monsoon is to be enjoyed. Thekadi is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Kerala. The very sound of the word Thekadi conjures up images of elephants, unending chains of hills, and spice-scented plantations. The Periyar Forest of Thekadi is one of the finest wildlife reserves in India. Spreads across the entire district are the picturesque plantation and hill towns that nestle beautiful trails for treks and mountain walks. Then there is a popular plantation town, Kumuli, which is located around 4 kilometers from Thekadi. Kumuli is recognized across the world for its undulating spice and tea plantations, due to which it has become an important center for spice trade. Dancing is one of India's most highly developed arts and was an integral part of worship in the inner shrines of every temple. It is notable for its expressive hand movements. Bharatanatyam is a classical dance style of South India that combines artistic expression with a sense of spirituality. Kathakali, an imported genre in the Indian classical dance form, is associated with storytelling form of this art. It is a dance drama from the South Indian state of Kerala. Similar to other Indian classical dance arts, the story in Kathakali is also communicated to audience through excellent footwork and impressive gestures of face and hands, complemented with music and vocal performance. Diwali or Deepavali is India's biggest and most important festival of the year. The festival gets its name from the row of clay lamps, Deepa, that Indians light outside their homes to symbolize the inner light that protects from spiritual darkness. The festival of lights that celebrates the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. Holi is a Hindu festival that marks the arrival of spring, known widely as the Festival of Color. It takes place over 2 days and is a celebration of fertility, color, and love, as well as a triumph of good versus evil. People spend the day smearing colored powder all over each other's face, throwing colored water at each other, having parties, and dancing under water sprinklers. This spectacular festival, entitled the Ganesha Chaturthi, honors the birth of the beloved Hindu elephant-headed god Lord Ganesha, popularly worshipped for his ability to remove obstacles and bring good fortune. The festival begins with the installation of a huge, elaborately crafted statues of Ganesha in homes and podiums, which have been especially constructed and beautifully decorated. Artisans put months of effort into making these statues. Let's move on now to Pondicherry. Located in southern India, Pondicherry, the little wonderful city where I was born and spent my whole childhood life, is a dream destination for expatriates worldwide, especially for Westerners. It is actually one of the mystical places that attracts thousands of tourists every year from all over the world. Indian in origin but French in taste, Pondicherry is a melting pot because a portion of France still exists there. We can notice that it has a very strong French feel in its architecture and monuments. There is also an international French school called the Lycée Français de Pondichéry. The school serves the period from pre-primary through lycée. It was a school in which I studied. Visit to Pondicherry is incomplete without a walk through the peaceful promenade Goubert Avenue. It gets prettily illuminated during a solemn ceremony entitled Bastille Day every 14th of July. If you are looking for a calm and quiet lifestyle, you will definitely be charmed by this developed city's proud colonial legacy. There is an experimental and universal township in Pondicherry founded in 1968 called Auroville, where citizens are from all over the world and live in peace and harmony. There is no money or religion there. The major tagline of Auroville is realizing human unity. A trip to Auroville would be incomplete without a dip in the cool and clean waters of the Bay Bengal. Largely coming to the main and the hugely popular tourist attraction around which the whole of this town is constructed, the Mathur Mandir or Golden Globe, which is the meditation center for the people of Auroville. For outsiders to visit this place, a pass has to be purchased from the visitors center. Last but not the least, the Sri Aurobindo Ashram is a spiritual community located in Auroville and founded by Sri Aurobindo, the father, and a French-born woman, the mother. Aurobindo's teachings mainly focus on integral yoga. Here is a pre-planned 10-day trip to India. As we all know, India is a vast land of epic mountains and searching deserts, of steaming jungles and endless beaches. It's a place of thriving cities and quiet picturesque villages, a place of magnificent architecture with a delicious and varied cuisine, a myriad of distinctive cultures and creeds, and a history that dates back into the mist of time. Rajasthan is a must-see place. There are very good reasons why over half of all first-timers travel there. First, it is close to Delhi, where there are excellent flight connections and which in itself is a fascinating city, a veritable tale of two cities. Delhi combines the hustle and bustle of the dramatic Mughal old town with its narrow alleys, its markets and mosques, with a sublime new town where the quiet parks and the tree-lined avenues are peppered by some of the country's most magnificent architecture. From here, you can travel easily either by car or train down to Agra, where most will go to visit the essential and truly amazing Taj Mahal, and from here either traveling via the Tiger Paths at the Ranthambore, which does offer one of the best chances in the world to see tigers in the wild. Making up the third stop in the triangle, there's the quintessential Rajput town of Jaipur with its bustling bazaar, its famous Palace of the Winds and the nearby Amber Fort. And that in itself makes a great 7 to 10 day holiday. If you have a bit more time, I advise you to step off the well-worn tourist trails to travel into a more rural areas where you can see some of our amazing village life and stay at some of the extraordinary Rajasthan palaces, now converted into some of the most atmospheric hotels anywhere in the world, like Rumatra, Diego and Swara. You can ride famous Marwari horses, go for bike rides into the countryside, or just enjoy a bit of relaxation by the pool. There are many of such properties in this out of India which you can mix up with other famous towns like Pushkar, Bundi or Jodhpur. And a great place to finish off your trip to Rajasthan is the lake city of Udaipur, sitting on the banks of the beautiful lake Pichola. Udaipur is a stunning place with impressive palaces, temples and shops. It's easy to navigate and walk around and is often referred to as Venice of the East. Rajasthan is arguably India's most colorful state. It has most of the country's must-see attractions and some of our best hotels. Then, moving to Kerala, a stunning state situated on the southern tip of the Indian subcontinent, if Rajasthan at the north presents a great place to travel, Kerala with its beautiful beaches, its temples, cultures and its meandering backwater cruises offer the chance to be truly relaxed and enjoy a more traditional holiday. A great routine here is to fly into Bangalore, then drive down through Mysore where you will find a colorful market and an immense palace before heading onto the beaches. There are a number of great beach properties dotted up and down the Malabar coast, but in my opinion, there's none more special than the Olestra Hermitage. This route makes for a perfect 10-day holiday, but if you have a bit more time and want to turn your holiday into more of a traveling experience, you can head up to the hill stations of Ooty and Munnar and on into temple-filled Tamil Nadu. If you are traveling to India for the first time, it can be overwhelming and daunting. Fret not. Here are a few most important travel tips for visiting India, which might just make your stay in India seamless, safe and super. First of all, don't be scared of cows wandering the streets. They can be found freely wandering the streets of India's cities. They are considered sacred and will often have a kungum, a Hindu symbol of good fortune. Cows are considered one of humankind's 7 mothers because they offer milk as does one's natural mother. Use your hands to eat. It's fun. Your hands are often the cleanest utensils since you know where they have been, and the joy of using your hand is well worth trying. But never use your left hand because it is considered unclean and it is never used for eating in India. Stay healthy. Never eat street food. Avoid too much spicy food, especially chilies. No one wants to get ill, particularly if you are on a shorter trip, so it pays to take steps to avoid a dodgy tongue. Never drink tap water. Many travelers go veggie while traveling in India, and it's not a bad idea as a dodgy bit of meat will do you a lot more harm than undercooked vegetables. Plus, many Indians are vegetarian, so the country offers perhaps the world's most fabulous choice of vegetarian food. If you do eat meat, make sure it's well cooked. And don't miss to eat food in banana leaves because it's an antibiotic and it adds a nice aroma to the food when it is served hot and improves the taste of the food. Then, coconut water is amazing. Don't miss to drink it. Moreover, don't be shocked of sound pollution in India. India is not a quiet country at all. Indian loves to use their horns when driving. They will honk when turning corners, when overtaking, etc. etc. The constant noise is one of the most draining things about being in India. Finally, don't overpack. Try to take less clothes because it's almost impossible to skip shopping in India. There will be many things you would like to buy. And just don't be scared to visit India since you don't know anything about it. India is an amazing and rewarding travel destination. Come and see for yourself to enjoy it. Thank you.
Visit Natural Studios on YouTube for more videos.